Welcome to your astrology tarot prediction for January 2026. All signs. I'm going to go sign by sign. You can take a look at your sun, moon, or ascendant for each sign. When I talk about houses, I'm talking about ascendants only. Let's get straight into these readings. I'm going to take a look at the chart, see what the planets are doing, how they may be affecting you over the month of January. Then I'm going to pull some tarot and let you know what kind of energy may be circulating around you over January 2026. Welcome, Aries, sun, moon, and ascendant signs. So in your house is Chiron, the wounded healer. So it's been here for some time, but it will be over the month of January square aspecting Jupiter. Now, what does this mean? Aries, Chiron exposes wounds around identity or self-assertion. So you could be dealing with expanded energy here because Jupiter expands energy. So we also have just Jupiter being in Cancer, which is why it is causing a square aspect. It's 21 degrees. I'm just looking at my chart. And Chiron's currently 22 degrees in your first house if you're an ascendant Aries. So this will be amplifying themes around safety, possibly emotional security as well, because that's what Cancer represents, emotional security, self-assertion as well, and your own personal identity or sovereignty, being that it's your first house. Now we have cards here around wellness. So it's talking about because Chiron is about the wounded healer, it's about spending some time healing. Now we're going into Capricorn season. Capricorn for you, Aries, is going to be, well, the sun is in Capricorn. That's your 10th house. So this is shining a light on your work you do, your job, your career, your role in life. So you could be really heavily focused on planning here because going into January, it's a new year, it's a one cycle. We're talking about making new plans, setting new goals, but it could be focused around your career because that's where the sun is sitting right now in Capricorn, your 10th house. So career planning, structure, motivation, it is ambition, all these kind of things take place in the energy of Capricorn, and we're in Capricorn season. So these things are going to be a little bit significant to you over the month of January. Your cards on the table is 7 of Cups. You're looking at all of your options, particularly around your role in life, your public, what you do, what you're known for, your job, your career. So you may be presented with some new options. You may be making some plans or goals to seek out new options or opportunities around to that. The King of the Emperor is in the upright position, indicating that you are sitting pretty stable and comfortably within your role or what you do, but you may be perhaps having some kind of thoughts around revising certain things, particularly because we're going into a 1 year next year, which means a brand new cycle. And what the Emperor card is making me think, you're thinking about power structures, you're thinking about security, your sense of security, sense of self-worth, your value, that kind of thing. So it's sitting in that role. As I'm looking at the card, it's the Emperor sitting in his throne, but he's very much motivated, ambitious. It's very Capricornian energy, and we are in Capricorn season. So this really makes sense to me, but it's going to be taking place around your 10th house if you're an ascendant. for everybody else, it could be taking place in any other part of, if you're just a sun or a moon Aries, then it could be taking place in any part of your life. And that is making plans, being motivated, being ambitious, thinking about what your plans are and your structures moving forward, overcoming any kind of hurdles that you're going through. We also have the Five of Cups in the reverse position. Five of Cups in the reverse position is saying maybe it's time to forgive yourself for past things that you've done. Maybe it's time to forgive others around you. Move on. Maybe it's time to 2026 move on, leave grudges behind. Hope that makes sense to you. I hope you have a beautiful month ahead, Aries, and I will see you again next month. Welcome, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. What is happening with the planets in the sky at the moment that could be affecting you over January? Well, we have Uranus in your first house if you're in a Taurus and Ascendant. It is in retrograde. Now, Uranus is the planet of, it's the great dismantler. It comes in to shake things up. It's about awakening, innovation, disruption. It's a great disruptor. So when it goes into retrograde, it becomes more of an internal thing than an external thing. So for you, given that your Taurus energy around security and value, self-worth, comfort zone, it could be starting to shake some things up internally for you. Now, it is in retrograde for 5 months of the year, but January is when we're going to be feeling this. If you're an Ascendant Taurus, you're going to feel this personal as part of your identity, your first house, who you are. Now, because of the stability, the money, your values, this could become really potent for you over the month of January, this retrograding Uranus planet in your first house, which is interesting because we've got the 10 of Pentacles sitting on the table. It's in the reverse position. It's in the reverse position because it's thinking about your finances, your security. Maybe it's giving you a little bit of disruption around money issues. Maybe you're having some kind of doubts or concerns around money. It is a loss card. It's the 10 of Pentacles. Doesn't mean there's losses. It means there's maybe internal dialogue around financial security for you. And that is just coming back to the energy of Uranus in retrograde, affecting you internally. It is a disruptor. It wants to shake up the way you make money. And I'm saying that because money is a big thing in the Taurus sign, but it's also on your cards as well. In the tarot, we've got the 10 of Pentacles. So really thinking about how you make money, your worth, your values, and it's becoming very internal because Uranus is in retrograde. So we have also on the table 2 of Wands in the upright position. It's all about planning your next steps of action moving forward. We are in Capricorn season. Capricorn are great planners. They're all about motivation. They're about ambition, structures moving forward. So it's really getting really good firm structures in place for you for 2026. But particularly in January, we're starting this venture, thinking about what our finances will be like in 2026, what actions we need to take. It's all taking place internally, but you're starting to make plans ready for the year ahead. 9 of Pentacles is in the reverse position. Again, it's another Pentacle card. So here we're really talking about the finances here for you, Taurus. And I feel that's deeply connected to the retrograding Uranus in your first house. But the overworking energy of the 9 of Pentacles, maybe you're working very hard for your money. Maybe there's a shakeup or disruption that's occurring internally around how hard you work for money. So what you have to do to make money. Maybe there's really things up in the air, disruptions, really a bit of a shakeup around the structure of what you do and for you, how you make money there. It's all taking place in your first house, so it's affecting you very deeply on a personal level. Now, we've got the sun in Capricorn. Capricorn for you is going to be Taurus. It's your 9th house. So it's going to shine a light on areas, and it is sitting conjunct with Mars. Mars is a planet of push of motivation, push of energy. It's very energetic planet, masculine energy. So there's a push of motivation, a push of energy coming your way as the sun conjuncts with Mars, but it is also conjuncting with Venus. So we've got this push from passive Venus energy into masculine dominance or moving forward. So the urge to move forward when it comes to things that related to 9th house. 9th house is overseas travel. 9th house is higher learning. It is philosophical pursuits, tarot, astrology. It's religious pursuits. It is seeking balance on a higher ethical standard, fair and just situations when it comes to morals and ethics. So we've got some energy there playing out for you as well, but I really do feel the energy is about finances, how you make money, and a bit of a shake up internally about how hard you work for what you do, and if there's other ways you could possibly do things. So thank you so much for joining me, Taurus. I hope it resonates. I hope you have a great month, and I will see you again next month. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs. What's going on with the planets at the moment that could be affecting you? So we've got a few things on the table that's taking place at the moment. There's no big major planets in your first house at the moment. We've had Uranus go retrograde, so it's moved out of Gemini and it's now currently back in Taurus. So it's giving you a little bit of a break, which is nice. But currently, as of the beginning of January, we've got the moon sitting in your first house there. The moon could bring heightened intuition or heightened emotions. Now, it could possibly be it is trining energy with Pluto over there in Aquarius. So it could be transformations around your emotional state. You could be getting a bit of deep, intensity around emotions to do with that Pluto energy in trining with you in the very early stages of January. Now, as it moves through, it will be squaring aspect to Pisces, energy of Neptune and Saturn sitting over there conjunct. So there's a bit of a placement with the moon, which means your emotions, it's your emotional security, your emotional fulfillment will be it will be squaring Neptune and Saturn, which brings a little bit of a challenging energy. You could feel some emotional upheaval or ups and downs, some emotional blocks. Maybe you're having issues dealing with emotions, coming up as hurdles towards moving forward. Could also be around boundaries because they've got that Neptune energy as well. So forcing you to take a look at your emotional boundaries over this early part of January. So we then have a bit of a break there with you. There's not a lot going on aspecting with planets because there's no big major planets in your first house other than the moon in the beginning of January. So the tarot cards that I have for you, Gemini, I will say though that we are in Capricorn season though over the month of January. That's going to be shining a light or highlighting your house, 8th house. 8th house talks about the deepest, darkest parts of yourself. It's the shadow self. So maybe there's a bit of shadow work emotionally taking place for you over the month of January. Maybe you're looking into things such as the things that are taboo subjects such as tarot, astrology, maybe the heightened intuition possibly could be sending you in that direction. Astrology is another taboo subject as well, but it's also the house of death. It's a house of, mediumship abilities, those kind of things. Maybe you're looking at heightened mediumship abilities over, particularly in the early parts of January when the moon's sitting in your first house. But because the sun is in your 8th house, it could be taboo subjects. It could be inheritance. It could be about your willpower and will and dominance related to those closest to you. Maybe that's a bit of an emotional upheaval or up and down energy for you when it comes to deep personal things or how closely you share with another person. Could be causing a bit of emotional tension over that time. Other than that, there's not major things happening, but I do feel a little bit of weakness energy. We've got the Strength card on the table in the reverse position, and I'm feeling that's connected back to while the moon's in the first part of January in your first house. Maybe it's a bit of a weakened energy, emotionally vulnerability is what I'm picking up around that energy. King of Cups in the reverse position could be causing a little bit of detachment energy. Maybe it's just an emotional detachment that you're taking place, given especially to that we've got the sun in Capricorn in your 8th house. So there could be a level of detachment there when it comes to facing deepest, darkest fears or just detaching from the world in generally and really going deep and dark and in the depth of your own emotions rather than being what's taking place on the outside. So there's an inner world there, a deepness when it comes to emotional energy for you. The other card that we've got on the table is the 6 of Wands. retrograde, in the reverse position. So that to me is saying that if you don't succeed first time around, try again later. So if the energy is not great for you at the beginning of January because of this emotional energy with your 8th house and your moon, try again a little bit later once the moon's finished moving and transiting through your, it's only a couple of days that it's in your house, your first house, but I feel like it just puts you in a bit of an emotional state where it's not great to achieve or to do certain things at the beginning of the month. So let that moon pass through your first house, Gemini, before you make any big decisions, before you weigh up how well you've done at something. We've got that card of 6 of Wands in the reverse. So it's not a succeeding card while the moon is in your first house. So wait till the moon transits through and then try again. And that's what I'm hearing is your message. If first you don't succeed, then try again. Thank you for joining me, Gemini. I hope that you do have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. Welcome, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs, to your Astrology Tarot reading for the month of January 2026. So there is a little bit of activity taking place in the planets at the moment that could be affecting you over the month of January. So you have got Jupiter in your first house if you're an Ascendant Cancer. It's sitting at 21 degrees. So it is sitting kind of aspecting definitely within the orb, 5-degree orb. So we've got aspecting Saturn in Pisces. So it is a trining energy, which means the two energies are here to help each other. They're both water signs. So, but we've got that Saturn energy. Saturn normally brings challenges or hurdles, or also the energy of really wanting to buckle down and do things the right way, set up structures, take accountability for your actions. It's really about a time of really getting in, doing the work, getting in and saying, okay, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get this done. So there's really, it's why Saturn can sometimes be a malefic planet because of its challenges. Sometimes it's not about challenges, and I don't think it is for you. Sometimes it's about being really motivated to work through something, to do the work, to get it done. And that's the energy I'm feeling for you, because we'll have this trining energy of Saturn and Jupiter will be trining. Now, Jupiter brings rewards. It brings expansion, growth, and luck. But Saturn also brings rewards. But Saturn's rewards comes from hard work. So you are rewarded for the work and effort that you put in. So that's what I'm feeling. Now, Jupiter may expand those rewards, which is a great thing. So I think this aspect of, it's a trining aspect, which is a positive aspect. I think it's going to be really beneficial to you. So this is taking place over the month of January. So a great time in January to get in and get the work done, get things done, overcome obstacles, really be willing to put boots on the ground and make an effort to set up structures, make plans, because I think that you're going to be really rewarded in a big way for setting up firm foundations in the month of January. Now, we've got the moon transiting through your first house. If you're a Cancer ascendant, we'll have a full moon in Cancer, 23 degrees, January 13th and 14th. So this is big energy. The moon rules your house, Cancer. But what I'm feeling with this energy is a great deal of intuition, heightened intuition, or feminine passive energy coming in around mid-January. And I say that because you've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, we have the Empress in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Swords. She's in the upright position. So they're all feminine queen type energies, and so is the moon. It's passive and it's feminine energy, but it's in the reverse. So to me, it feels like going inwards. It feels like it's like a time of emotional depth, going inwards. Now, being completely honest with yourself too, because we've got the Queen of Swords. She's asking for integrity. She's asking for you to be honest with your emotions here over this time while we had that full moon. So that will be mid-January. Now, the Empress in the reverse, normally quite a very intuitive card, but it feels to be more about having to really see where your loyalties are, but I'm getting a level of dependency here as well. Because it's reverse, I'm feeling like it's inward motion. So where it could normally be fertile grounds and, you know, moving into setting up things for fertility and new plans, making new ventures and new ideas coming into formation, but I feel like it's really about going within. It's almost like when a planet's retrograding and it becomes an internal thing. That's what I think the reverse position of the tarot is in this particular case. So I feel energy mid-January is definitely going within. It's very subtle energy. It's very passive energy. So really going within. Don't make any big decisions here. Don't rush into anything. It's really about sitting in the energy and how it feels to you. Very moon energy. So how this energy feels, because we've got a lot of feminine cards on the table. So passive energy, going within, using your intuition and just seeing how certain decisions play out for you. Now, the Capricorn, we have the sun in Capricorn, which means it's Capricorn season. That is in your 7th house. So this will be affecting your relationships. 7th house is all about your partnerships, business partnerships, or your closest relationships around you. So there could be a time of really just being passive when it comes to anything that could be causing some kind of emotional stirrings within you, because it's very moon energy, very feminine energy, and really just going passive with this. It feels almost PMS to me. It feels that kind of cyclic energy where it's just about what you're holding within you. So I feel it to be having to be very honest with you, with yourself, but also being honest about the cycles too. What part of the cycle are you on that is causing the emotions? Are they lining up with that moon energy in the middle of the month? If so, it's going to be quite intense. So it's really about really just being gentle and kind to yourself at this time. Not too much outbursts externally. It feels to be about really just sitting in the energy. Queen of Pentacles is all talking about self-centeredness as well. It's asking you to really just sit in your own energy at this time. So all cycles aside, we're just talking about the energy of just sitting in that energy of your own space at that time, mid-January. So that's going to be important. But over the whole month of January, pretty much, we've got Capricorn season. Capricorn season is playing out in your 7th house of relationships. So very mindful of that. We've got a lot of feminine passive energy. We've got a lot of intuition and moon type emotional energy over that period, particularly the middle of the month. So just keep that in mind, but really just sit in your own energy, sit in your own space, and be very honest with yourself about how you feel about the situations playing out within your relationship house. Thank you so much for joining me, Gemini. I hope that you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again thank you again, Cancer. I hope that you do have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs to your tarot and astrology reading for January 2026. Now, for you, Leo, we are in Capricorn season, which means the sun is sitting in Capricorn. For you, this is taking place in your 6th house. What this is bringing up energy around shining a light on the caring industry, how you care and nurture others, caring for others, and service work, what you do for other people versus what people do for you. But I do feel also it's about well-being as well, and having to pay attention to your well-being over this time in Capricorn season. This is where the energy is highlighted over the month of January. Now we have some cards on the table for you, Leo. We've got the King of Pentacles in the upright position, the 10 of Wands in the reverse position, and so is the 10 of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles in the reverse position, the 10 of Wands in the reverse position, and the 2 of Swords in the reverse position. Now it's all reversed with the tarot here, but I feel like it's a matter of very personal matters to me. It feels personal more so than external. It's more internal. Very similar to retrograding energy with planets is what I'm feeling and picking up. Now we have got the moon transiting your 1st house, Leo, around the end of January. So you may find some of this energy, emotional up and down indecision. I'm feeling with that 2 of Swords energy could bring a level of not quite seeing clearly, because the moon in the tarot is about things being unclear. So I feel with the moon transiting through your house there, your 1st house, I feel like at the end of January, that's going to bring up a little bit of clarity or indecision around your situation around you towards the end of January there. Now the King of Pentacles sitting in the reverse position is saying that you need to be careful with your spending. Be very wise with your money over January. be careful where you're putting your money. Now, are you putting money into healthcare? Because we're talking 6th house Capricorn season. For those that are just moon and sun, you're not the ascendant Leo. It's just really about paying particular attention about where you're putting money. Could be highlighting areas about greed as well, or greed around you, other people around you, but it's really just bringing into highlight about how you spend money, being very cautious around spending money. Now, normally the king in the upright position of Pentacles, he's very very grounded, very stable, very good with his money. He's very good with his money and how he spends money, how he makes money. When it's in the reverse position, it's saying that it's a little bit more frivolent, you're a little bit more loose with the purse string. So just being really aware of that. The 10 of Wands in the reverse position is saying that you really need to say no to some things. Could be the spending, it could be the money situation, but it's saying that really delegating where you can, don't take on too much over January. Especially for your well-being. It's really important for your well-being not to take on too much over January. Delegate things where you have to. And then, of course, we had the indecision with the reverse position. So thank you so much for joining me, Leo. I hope that you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs to your January 2026 astrology and tarot reading. So there's no big major planet sitting in your first house there, Virgo. So I will go over a couple of things and then pull your tarot cards. Now we have Capricorn season. So we have the sun sitting in Capricorn over the month of January. What does this mean? It means it's a great time for setting up structures, setting stepping stones, great for planning, great for making lists, to-do lists, and setting goals down in January. It's a perfect time of year to do that anyway, but I feel that because that's something Virgo's very good at, is making lists and being very meticulous about planning. I think this sun energy in Capricorn is going to be great for ambition and motivation and getting some really good groundwork set up over the month of January. So get on that, take advantage of that energy. Now I've pulled some cards for you which are very interesting. We have got the moon moving through your sign early in January, around about the 8th. That will bring in heightened intuition, or can bring emotional energy as well, can bring issues around sleeping as well for some, or heightened dreams. But I definitely have on the table for you, because Capricorn is your 5th house. 5th house is creativity, so loads of creative energy coming your way in January while we're in Capricorn season, but it's also the house of pleasure and fun. So, and then I have pulled the card of the Knight of Cups in the upright position. So the Knight of Cups in the upright position is all about romance. It's about partners. So here, maybe seeking a bit of fun, pleasure, and joy, given that we're in Capricorn season, and that's all about seeking 5th house energy, so happiness, fun, joy, passion. And then we've got that Knight of Cups also seeking the same. So also the Knight of Wands is in your spread. He's also in the upright position, and he wants to be all about adventure. So here we've got seeking adventure. It could be for you what lights you up. What adventures do you want to have in the month of January? Really focused on love, joy, pleasure, adventures, having fun, doing things, laughter, creativity, really being adventurous with your creative skills, being adventurous with places that you go when it comes to what brings you joy and harmony, what brings you fun and laughter. So that's really a focal point for you over the month of January. The other card that we have on the table is the Judgment card in the reverse. Could leave you with a little bit of self-doubt there. I feel it's very internal with that reverse position. So I feel like you could be doubting yourself a little bit, doubting parts about your life, and maybe if you have enough love and laughter in your life, given the tarot cards that are on the table. So for you, Virgo, I think January is a great time of planning, a great time of setting new goals and intentions, but it's also a great time to get out there with love, laughter, joy, and adventure. So hopefully you have a beautiful month ahead, Virgo, and I will see you again next month. Welcome, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs to your astrology and tarot reading for January 2026. So there's no major planet sitting in your first house there, Libra, but we are in Capricorn season. Now, what does that mean for you? Capricorn season for you is going to be your fourth house, which means energy around your house, your home, your family. Could be changes coming up around you. Could be really shining a light on what your plans are when it comes to your family structure or your home. Maybe you're planning to make some changes, change some colors out. Maybe it's renovations. Maybe you're thinking about selling in January, in sometime in 2026. But because of this energy of Capricorn's really about setting structures, being very focused and focused, work orientated, putting in boots on the ground energy, about getting things done. So they have quite a workload to do, and for you it's around your home. So maybe thinking about things that you could be doing, given some time off in January, or it could just be that January energy of the sun in Capricorn is making you be very motivated, ambitious even when it comes to what your plans are for 2026 around your home and family. So this is what energy that is highlighted. Now, we have some energy of the moon in around about the 11th of January, could be bringing heightened intuition, could be bringing emotional energy. Now, it is energy with, let me have a look at that. We've got this energy of Capricorn. For you, Libra, that's squaring energy. So that's sun. Now, it could be bringing even challenging energy, especially if it's hitting a natal aspecting planet. So if there's a planet in your natal chart in your first house, Libra, or in Libra, if you're a sun or a moon Libra, when it comes to the position of forming a squaring aspect with the sun there. So that could be bringing a little bit of challenges for you, challenging energy. Now, it has to do with your home and your family. So maybe there's challenges around family situations, challenges around what the plans will be for 2026 when it comes to your home. So those kind of things are happening. But with your tarot cards that's come up for you, we've got the Hangman in the upright position. Now, this could be meaning that you just need to surrender to the flow of the universe, but it could mean that you need to maybe look at things from a different perspective when it comes to your home and family. Maybe the perspective of somebody else within your family. Think about their position. Think about how they're feeling over this time. Really shine it, because the sun wants to shine its light on your fourth house. So, and you with this Hangman card is saying that you need to maybe visit the situation from a different perspective. Think about whatever it is that you've been thinking about with your home. Think about something a little bit different there. We do have also the justice, the fairness and balance in the upright position. So it's very Libra energy, but it's also asking you to be very fair and balanced with family members over this time, or house situations, your home. And that's very, very Libra of you, but it's also coming up in your tarot as well. Could be talking also about justice, and getting justice, but I feel it's more energy related to home and family because of we're in Capricorn season. We have got the King of Wands in the reverse position. Perhaps it's taking place to do with your family, energy around the negative traits of the Wands energy, which would be your Aries, your Sagittarius, and your Leo energy. So masculine energy, it feels to be, because the Wands are a masculine suit or a sign, and it's feeling to me like impulsiveness being a negative trait of Aries. Arrogance even is a negative trait. Self-centeredness, that's an arrogant, as a negative trait of one of those Wand signs. So for you, I feel it could be a possible trying to find balance and harmony within your home and your family when you're raised with issues around the negative traits of the Wand signs, the fire signs, and really having to be fair and balanced when it comes to everybody's feelings or emotions over this time, over January. But the Hangman in the upright position is saying really just go with the flow here, see the perspective from other people's eyes, think about other people in your family members, even if they're providing challenges for you, because we've got that challenging aspect of the sun and the moon, particularly around the 11th of January. So really just take that time over that period to just try and look at the situation from somebody else's point of view. But other than that, I think beautiful energy for you coming up. as long as you're just going with the flow of the energy and not trying to headbutt against it. So just go with the flow over January, especially in that period around the 11th of January, 11th to say the 13th of January. But other than that, I feel fair, balance, harmony, energy around the home and family, but as long as you're taking a look at things from other people's perspective there and going with the flow. Hope you have a beautiful month ahead, Libra, and I will see you again next month. From Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Ascendant signs to your tarot and astrology reading for January 2026. So there's no major planets playing out in your first house there, Scorpio, but we are in Capricorn season. So the sun is in Capricorn at the moment. For you, this is taking place in your third house. This is your house of communication. It's also social media, it's marketing, it's sales, it's but very much communication, learning as well. It's a Gemini trait sign, it's the third house. So all about, looking at new opportunities and thinking about things. You're thinking lots of mental activity in the month of January for you about new opportunities for 2026 when it comes to ways of making money, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position. We also have the Five of Wands in the reverse position, indicating that you may have to compromise your values a little bit here, especially when it comes to communication with other people, compromising or just really agreeing to disagree rather than striking up conflict. So it's conflict resolution is really what I'm picking up around you in the month of January, because we have the sun in your third house. Conflict resolution when it comes to communicating with other people and just really compromising as far as understanding everybody has their own personal opinions and just making that part of your communication policies, but also a little bit of transparency goes a long way too when it comes to, we've got the Seven of Swords in the reverse position. Now maybe you're feeling like a little bit defensive, but it's rather than taking that defensive way, it's more about being transparent with your feelings, your emotions, or your thoughts and ideas over this time. So taking a look at other placements for you, what's occurring for you, Scorpio, there's a bit of activity trining your sign. So we've got energy around Neptune and Saturn conjunct, trining your energy. So this is really relevant if you've got natal planets in your first house there, Scorpio, because they'll be aspecting or trining, which is a positive energy. It's here to help you, but Neptune wants to dissolve things that don't work for you, and Saturn wants you to do some work to work through different hurdles and obstacles. It's really a time of planning and setting up structures, letting go of things that are not working for you. It's a time of release. So it could be taking place now. It could be about going really deep with emotions and releasing certain traumas or emotions. It could be occurring over the month of January as we have that Neptune and Saturn aspecting your first house. Trining your first house, I should say. So it's here to help you, even though the energy could feel challenging because you're letting go and releasing and really having to work hard to overcome obstacles. It's still here to help you in the long run. So a little bit of work to do there over that energy, but you've got a bit of transparency. You've got a bit of work to do when it comes to new opportunities. So really getting some foundational work here with that Saturn energy that's trining. It's asking you to put boots on the ground, set some goals, set some structure, set up some really firm foundations in January for the year ahead. A good time to do that. It's also a good time to release because it's conjunct with the Neptune. So letting go of things that don't work for you. Also letting go of physical clutter or structure. It could be physical things as well that you're having to release or let go of. But I do feel like things that are not working for you anymore, you need to release those things. So you're closing the door and then set some really good firm foundations for new opportunities coming your way from January 2026. So I hope that you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month for your astrology reading. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant signs to your tarot astrology reading for January 2026. You currently have Mercury in your first house. Mercury rules communication. It rules learning, information. It's very much an air sign quality. So lots of new information, busy mind going on for you. Maybe making plans for future actions. Also could be about social media as well. Marketing, sales could be coming into play here with the Mercury energy in your first house. Now I'm also feeling, because it is squaring Neptune in January. So this energy is asking you to think about what you need to release, dissolve, or let go of. It is it's a very tight orb, 29 degrees Neptune and 28 degrees Mercury, so a very tight orb. So you're really going to really want to feel this push to think, I'm saying, because it's Mercury, think about what you could let go of or what you could dissolve or change coming up for 2026. Now, Saturn is conjunct Neptune at this time. Saturn is about boots on the ground. It's about setting up structures, taking accountability, overcoming hurdles. It's about really doing the work, putting in the effort, being motivated, ambitious. It's really being active energy, I feel, is this energy of Mercury in Sagittarius, but because it falls with this squaring energy, which could be challenges in itself, it's energy around lots going on in your mind about what your plans are for 2026, and you're really thinking about what part of myself or what part of my life do I need to let go of, what is not working for me, what have I been working really hard on with that Saturn energy, where could I work harder, where could I set up better structures or foundations, what accountability do I need to take for my actions. So being that have you been doing things the right way, very Sagittarian energy, the right way, the wrong way, the black and the white. So here it's about, I'm feeling really positive energy too around you. I feel like the dissolving will do you good. It feels to be lots of, maybe it's just dissolving what's going on in your mind, trying to get it out on paper for one thing is what I'm feeling for you. Saturn says it wants you to set up structures and foundations. It wants you to be really firm with accountability and overcoming obstacles. But I feel like there's so much going on in your head because of the Mercury energy in your first house. So maybe by releasing that Neptune energy, by writing it down, setting some goals, setting some structure, I think it's going to be really beneficial for you for 2026. But that's occurring in the month of January. Now, funny I say that because I'm taking a look at your tarot that I've got on the table for you. 2 of Wands in the upright position. This is a new path, a new action. It's planning. Fire signs are all about, and the suit of fire in the tarot is about action, movement, energy. And it's really about thinking about which path are you going to be taking, moving on in January, from January 2026. So really a lot of planning's taking place. Lots going on activity-wise in your mind because of the Mercury in your first house. But I'm feeling like you need to really get it out of your head, dissolve all that clutter that's going on there with that because it's squaring Neptune, and really get it down on paper, planning. Use that Saturn to your advantage that's also squaring you, causing what feels to be hurdles or obstacles, but really it's just because it's a jumbled mess at the moment. Thank you to Mercury. But once you get it out on paper, do a bit of planning, I think that's going to be really prosperous for you because you've got the 10 of Pentacles in the upright position. So that is finances. That's looking at a year in January 26 of prosperity. So really setting some goals for your direction moving forward in 2026, which path you're going to take, which is going to be much more prosperous for you because of that 10 of Pentacles that's also on the table. A lot of energy around you, Sagittarius. The other thing that could be taking place is a bit of defensive energy. We've got the 7 of Wands in the upright position. So that's indicating that maybe you're having to defend yourself, defend your decisions, defend your thoughts, your ideas because of the Mercury in the first house. So for here, it's about you're wanting to move forward, being that it's a Wands. The 7 of Wands is a fire sign. So you're wanting to move forward, you're wanting to take action, but you feel like you're a little bit blocked, given that we've got that squaring Saturn energy there. It feels to be a bit challenging and blocked because you're having to defend your ideas or defend your way of being, your way of living. Have you made the right decisions in last year? The 2 of Wands, the planning. Have you made the right path? Have you made the right decisions? You're like crossroads energy of how you're moving forward, but a lot of activity taking place for you, being a little bit defensive about what you really want to do versus what you're feeling guided and pulled towards universally with the energy of Neptune. What Neptune's asking you to dissolve and release there as it's squaring your first house. Thank you so much for joining me, Sagittarius, I hope you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. Welcome Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant signs. January is going to be very busy for you. You've got a nice little stellium happening there in your first house. So if you're an Ascendant Capricorn, this means it's taking place in your first house. So there's lots of new ideas, new energy coming your way. We've got Mars, part of the stellium. Mars brings a burst of energy, motivation. It brings energy of wanting movement, wanting to move forward. So there's lots of this energy now. It is Capricorn season. So we have the sun shining brightly in your first house, Capricorn. So here it's saying that it's time to light up, feel what inspires you, what fuels your soul. Where's the energy come from? It's really about thinking about getting balance, a little bit more balance, because we've got this Venus and Mars sitting in your first house. So you're really working with balancing out your energies. Are you having enough work-life balance? Is there enough fun work balance? Is there enough masculine, feminine energy, which is movement, motivation, but passivity and relaxation? So, and it's not really relaxation as it's the word that I pulled through, but what that means is about not doing. So, and it's funny, I've got the card on the table with the tarot that corresponds to what I'm picking up here. So it's like this balancing energy of the motivated Mars energy and that push to move forward versus that passive feminine Venus energy that says not doing. So there's a really trying to get the balance between doing and not doing. And then I have this Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position, saying that maybe you've slowed things right down, that you are feeling unmotivated or feeling a little bit lazy, feeling like you just don't want to do anything. So it's really corresponding to this stellium that's playing out in your first house. And I'm feeling like it's really needing to deal with this conflicting energy inside of your head, because I've got the Five of Swords in the upright position, and Swords energy is about speech, but it's also about mental activity as well. So a lot of this energy is taking place for you. It's your first house, so it's taking place for you personally, but playing out in the mind area. So really conflicting between, hey, I want to do this. I've got this great idea. I'm really motivated. I've got this burst of energy. I want to do this. I want to achieve this. It's kind of very Mars energy. But then the Venus steps in and says, okay, let's chill. Let's just relax. Just take our time with it. Let's really just slow things down. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Slow it right down to the point of not moving at all. So it's a really bit of a balancing act that's going on there for you in January. Now there's a bit of activity. We've got Mercury moving into January that will bring more heightened energy within the mind. Moving forward, a bit of social media energy there as well. Now we've got, I'm just seeing what it is squaring. A lot of activity around in the opposition position. It is squaring, opposing, sorry, Jupiter. Jupiter really accentuates this energy. It makes it heightened, much more of it, expands it. That's the word I'm looking for. It expands the energy. But also in the opposition position, that's your luck, that's your growth, that's your abundance. So really big positive energy, but it's sitting in opposition. So it forms part of this push and pull energy that is occurring because of that stellium with the Mars on one side of the sun and the Venus on the other, and they're pushing and pulling energy. So 1 minute it's expanded ideas about motivation, abundance and moving forward, but then there's this really pulling back energy with Venus. So I feel it's like really trying to get that inner conflict to balance out. Do what feels right for you on a daily basis. So it's going to be different from day to day. If you're having a motivated day, you want to achieve, you've got really big bursts of Mars energy taking place for you, set that day to set intentions, make plans, steps forward, action, because Mars is a very action-orientated sign, moving forward. So use that. But if it's a passive side of Venus and it's just saying Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position, we want to just relax a little bit, pull your energy back. day to day. It's balancing on a day to day. It's going to be different for you every day in January. We also have the Three of Cups in the reverse position. It's just saying to be cautious about overindulgence over January for you. Could be a little bit tired from over celebrations as well, celebrating a little bit too much, or being a little bit too relaxed and not doing anything, as it's sitting so closely to the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Capricorn, I hope you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. Welcome Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendants to your Astrology and Tarot reading, January 2026. A lot of planetary activity taking place around you, Aquarius, so let's have a look at how that may affect you over the month of February. I'll also be pulling and referring to tarot cards as well. So first of all, for you, we've got Pluto, as always, as we know, is sitting in your first house. The other thing that I think is really important here is the Uranus that is retrograding back into Taurus. This is important because it's forming a square aspect to your first house, Aquarius, which means that's your ruler, that's your sign ruler is Uranus. So you're very familiar with the energy of thinking outside of the box, technology, those kind of things that Uranus rules. But Uranus is a great disruptor, so it wants to shake things up. When it's retrograde like it is now in your squaring aspect taking place in Taurus, this is going to be for you, Aquarius, your fourth house, so taking place around your home, your family. It's going to feel like it's want to disrupt the way things are done in your home and family. Internally, you may feel like painting walls. You may feel like redoing certain things around your home or your house, pulling things up, disrupting the flow, changing the flow of things, changing rooms around, changing gardens, changing structures or days that you see certain family members. This could be really disrupting the pattern that you have around your home and your family. It's really the biggest planetary thing that I think is happening around you at the moment, which is pretty big for you, Aquarius. But I feel like we are in Capricorn season, so the sun is shining in your neighboring house, which is Capricorn. So for that is going to be taking place in your 12th house. So for you, it's all about boundaries. Boundaries could be challenged here. It's also about endings as well, endings to cycles coming up around you. Now, let me see what that's feeling, where I'm pulling from that. It's because of the Uranus, your ruling planet, that's moved retrograde back into a squaring planet for you into Taurus, into your fourth house. I feel like it's making you really visit what you need to disrupt around family and home. Now, where Capricorn comes into it, with the stellium that's sitting over there in Capricorn season is saying, okay, let's set some goals, make some plans for the year ahead. We're shaking things up around your home, thinking about selling perhaps, thinking about renovating or making changes in 2026. So Capricorn is really great for setting structures, making plans, getting boots on the ground and start putting in those first foundations around what your plans are moving forward around your home or your family for 2026. So while the sun is in Capricorn, it's saying this is a fantastic time to set up the base work, the foundational structure work for what your plans are around your house in 2026. January is a really great time for that. Now, the cards that I have on the table for you is the Knight of Wands in the upright position. Knight of Wands says, let's be a little bit more adventurous. Let's set our sights a little bigger. It feels to be it's ruled by the energy of Jupiter. I'm thinking Sagittarius energy with this Knight of Wands, and I'm thinking that it's ruled by Jupiter, so expansion. We're thinking about ways we can expand and grow, luck, motivation, abundance, and it's really energy around that. It's not just adventure. It feels to me about expanding, growth, luck here, energy with this Knight of Wands in the upright position, coming from the Sagittarian Knight energy there, ruled by Jupiter. So then we have the resistance card, Death in the reverse. We've got Death wanting to bring in changes, change from the tarot. So it's not death changes, it's tarot changes. So it means change, the Death card in the tarot. So we've got changes, but there's resistance to the changes. Maybe you're wanting to make changes around the home, but there's a bit of resistance there. Maybe it's timing resistance. Maybe it's resistance of family members. There's a little bit of resistance that's taking place. Maybe you're resistant to changes that are coming up naturally, that Uranus aspecting you, causing a squaring aspect in Taurus, is saying, okay, I've got this urge on the inside. It's because it's retrograde. It wants to really go internal rather than external. And it's saying, I really feel like I want to make some change, disrupt the pattern, disrupt the house and home and family situation. But I feel like there's some resistance coming up there. Maybe it's coming from family members. Maybe it's you're resisting the changes that naturally need to occur there. We've got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse position. So it is refusing offers of assistance or help. People just wanting to help, but you're being very resistant here, resistant to change, resistance to help. But the Knight of Wands is saying, look, we want to expand. We want to do what's best. We want to move forward. We want to be more adventurous. We want to have more luck, growth, and opportunities. So maybe we need to not turn down the hand that, or by hand I mean the opportunities that are coming forward. So think about them, don't resist them. So it's maybe think about them is definitely what I'm saying. So it's not definitely jump on them straight away. It's you have to put thought into it and think about, is this help going to be beneficial, or is this help going to be a hindrance? So really having to weigh up those decisions around you. So Aquarius, I hope you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month. From Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant signs to your tarot astrology reading for January 2026. There's a bit of planetary activity that's taking place in your first house. I'm going to see how that may be affecting you over the month of January. I'm also pulling cards from the tarot for you to align to and see what might be coming up for you in January. Now, the activity that's taking place, we've got this conjunction of Neptune and Saturn in your first house. It's quite powerful energy. Two big planets that are very tightly conjunct in your first house, which means you're definitely going to feel this energy. Neptune says, what do you need to release? What do you need to dissolve? What boundaries do you need to put up or remove? So thinking about your boundaries, thinking about things that are no longer working for you. Saturn is challenges, obstacles, setting up firm foundations and structures. It's about taking accountability. Saturn wants to put work in to do things the right way. It wants to set up really good foundations. And Neptune comes in and says, okay, part of these foundations, this structure that you're putting forward for 2026, does involve closing some doors, ending some chapters, dissolving things that no longer work. So there's a little bit of work that's spent here in what you need to dissolve. Now, I've just looked down at your tarot cards, Pisces, and noticed that we have the Tower in the reverse position. Tower brings about sudden changes, sudden endings. When it's in the reverse, it could be avoiding what you need to release, what you need to let go of. Now, here's the thing with how the universe works. The Tower cards is on the table. It is in the reverse position at the moment, giving you the opportunity to release them on your own, to dissolve things that don't work for you. Otherwise, the Tower steps in its upright position and says, okay, this is not going to be part of your 2026. We need to change these structures. We need to close some doors so we can open some new ones for you. The universe has your back. It's just in the upright position. It wants you to find fairness and justice and balance. Maybe you've got too much on your plate, so you need to let things go. Saturn says you've been working very hard. You've been gathering a lot of hurdles, obstacles, challenges, and duties, responsibilities that you're carrying as like burdens on your back. And Neptune says, look, we need to release some of these burdens. The Tower in the reverse says you need to let some things go. You're avoiding change, you're avoiding release, but it's saying that we need to give you the opportunity to release some of the burdens that you're carrying on your back. Release some of the things that you've said yes to when really you should have said no. Now, for you, we've got Capricorn season. So the sun is in Capricorn. Pisces, this is your 11th house. So this is your community house. It's your house of new projects. Maybe you're looking at new projects in January 2026 and having to let go of some old projects. Here, we've got the Queen of Cups in the reverse position, and she's saying she's feeling a little bit up and down with her emotional state, because water is emotions with the cups, but it's also about relationships. So maybe there's a little bit of internal emotional insecurity going on around you, Pisces, as the Neptune is forcing you almost to look at what you need to release and let go of. Saturn says do the work, as it's conjunct with Neptune, but the Tower in the reverse card is such a powerful major arcana archetype that is saying this is your opportunity in January to make decisions for yourself, what you think you need to release and let go of that's no longer working for you. Otherwise, the universe steps in and decides what is not working for you. So you've got a bit of restructuring to do in January, Pisces. So I do hope you have a beautiful month ahead, and I will see you again next month.